Women, what do they want? It's a question that's plagued no less an authority than movie star and noted humanitarian Mel Gibson. Not to be confused with his far less successful follow-up, why are Jews? But for most American women, one thing they might want is to be paid the same as men, and one prominent man currently agrees.
Women deserve equal pay for equal work.
Equal pay kicked off your presidency. It's become really a theme, one of the themes of your time here.
Well, that's nice. Equal pay is not such a bad theme. It's certainly an improvement over previous presidential themes, including let's lock up all the Japanese and destroy the Seminole scourge. Unfortunately, as is so often the case for this president, his laudable goal was muddled right from the outset.
Today, the average full-time working woman earns just 77 cents for every dollar a man earns. Equal pay for equal work. It's not that complicated.
Yeah, it shouldn't be that complicated, and as long as he hasn't overlooked something which complicates this significantly, everything should still be on track.
In 2013, female staffers in the Obama White House were paid less than 88 cents for every dollar paid to male staffers.
Well, that's OK. Maybe that just means the president was 88% sincere when he talked about equal pay, which, if you round it up, is basically 100% anyway, so why is everyone complaining? And with that, all anyone could focus on was not how to fix this problem, but how to quantify it.
The Labor Department itself, the president's own Labor Department, says it's 81 cents.
Another federal study, for example, says the disparity is more like 88 cents for every dollar.
The studies do show that when you do the controlling, there's about a 9% gap.
The wage gap is really somewhere between 5 and 7 cents.
Women who do not get married have virtually no wage gap. They earn 96 cents for every dollar a man makes.
Look, even if 96 cents is the number, which it isn't, it's still terrible. Let me put this in terms that are perhaps easy to understand. If someone takes a dump on my desk, the size of the dump is not the issue. I'm not going to say, well, how big of a dump is it? 8 inches? 10 inches? Oh, just 3 inches? Well, that's almost like you didn't take a dump on my desk at all. And so this is where we are right now. The One Equal Pay Act in Congress has already been killed and there is seemingly nothing on the horizon. But to listen to some, that's not a problem. Because not only does the gap barely exist, if it does, it's actually women's fault.
Women make different choices about what kinds of jobs they seek. They make different choices in reaction to marriage and childbirth. When those factors are taken into consideration, studies have indicated that the pay gap all but evaporates.
Classic. Women are paid less because they choose to have children, although, to be fair, they didn't technically choose to be the sole gender biologically capable of pregnancy, with the notable exception, of course, of seahorses and Arnold Schwarzenegger and Jr. So let's be balanced here. The second popular argument for why the wage gap is women's fault is that they choose to enter lower-paying professions.
When you compare men and women in the same positions, with the same experience, the same education, there is no pay gap. You need to look at, yes, what the position is, and you need to compare apples to apples, not pick and choose.
OK, apples to apples. OK, well, in which case, I actually have a question for you. How do you like these apples?
A recent study out of Yale University that is interesting, where professors were given the identical resume. One had the name John on the top, and one had the name Jennifer on top. And the male candidate was rated more favorably.
Really?
And they were offered, on average, $4,000 more than the female candidate.
OK, so it seems we either address the root of this problem and fight entrenched sexism in our society, or all women simply change their names to John. Sure. It'll be confusing for a while, but you'll have $4,000 extra a year just to take the edge off the confusion. And also, don't despair just yet, because apparently, if women can just hang in there, there is hope.
If you're unmarried and childless between the ages of 35 and 43, the statistics show you make $1.08 on average to every male dollar.
So there you have it, ladies. If you can just remain single, not accidentally have children, and never turn 44, you're gonna be golden. Look, here's the thing. Paying people less for the same work is clearly wrong. Even monkeys know that. Scientists actually ran a test where two monkeys performed exactly the same task. One was paid with a grape and the other with just a cucumber. Watch how the monkey who got the cucumber reacted when it realised it was underpaid. Hey, calm down, monkey. You don't know what the other monkey's experience and education were. You've just made different choices in your life. Besides, a cucumber is virtually the same as a grape. Now, some people are always going to want to pay women less, even if it is, let's say, 83 cents on the dollar. But if we're not going to get legislation, it should at least be obvious who is choosing to do that. So to that end, we would like to suggest this.
Are you a middle-aged man running a financial firm or a multinational conglomerate? Do you find that pushy female employees have been nagging you with unreasonable demands for equal pay? What if I told you about a revolutionary new product that lets you pay women just as much as men without sacrificing the sheer convenience of paying them less? Introducing Ladybucks, dollars for female employees that are worth just 83 cents on the dollar. Ladybucks is the new currency for women from the Federal Reserve and the creators of Playtech's Gentle Glide 360. Available in a variety of colors and scents, Ladybucks feature America's most celebrated female presidents like Gina Davis, Julia Louis-Dreyfus, and Battlestar Galactica's Laura Roslin, who only became president after almost all of mankind was destroyed. It's an amount that could be described as virtually the same, really just reflective of the different choices women make, and some f***ed-up Mad Men bullshit. So why not try Ladybucks? Show the women in your workplace that they're truly 0.83 in a million. Ladybucks are not for everyone. Consult your lawyer before using Ladybucks. Use of Ladybucks may result in class action lawsuits, adverse publicity, failure to retain staff, or being kicked in the dick.